All right, what's up, everybody? This is the Truth, back again to tell y'all the truth. So today, I'm gonna come to y'all and talk to y'all about the CompTIA Security Plus Exam. Of course, I've taken that, I passed it, so I'm gonna give y'all some tips and pointers, some motivation. I'm gonna start off first with an intro. Then I'm gonna tell y'all my scores to the test. And I'm gonna tell you about the testing process, my experience, effective ways to study, and lastly, what other YouTubers are telling y'all. So just sit back, because I'm about to go ahead and just basically tell y'all what's going on. So how y'all doing today? My name is The Truth. Of course, I'm a graduate at Alabama State University, Bachelor's of Science in Computer Science, and anything else y'all want to know, y'all can just comment down below. I will answer. Maybe I will do a separate video telling who I am and basically giving y'all more information that y'all want to know. But until then, this is all you will get. So we're going to jump straight into these topics. So of course, we're going to start off with my scores. My scores were, well, I took the test 2 times. First time I scored a 730 and the second time I scored a 753. You need a 750 in order to pass at minimum. The highest you can get is a 950. On the test, of course, a 750 is considered 83%. So don't hang your head low if you're falling short of, let's say 730 like I did, or a 735, 740s, even a 749, because at the end of the day, remember, a 750 is considered an 83. If you were taking a regular test at school, if you got a 750, that's an 83. So on those other scores, I haven't really calculated them. I'm not going to calculate them now, of course, but that's probably like say for example, like 80, 79, 70, 77, in that range of area. Of course, the second time, like I said, I scored a 753, so I probably made like let's say an 85. Let's say that 84, 85. So that's as far as it goes with the scoring. It is very strict with the scoring. They want very high scores. So, hey, you just gotta know what's going on. So let's go ahead and jump into the topic of basically the testing process. Talk about the testing process. Of course, when it comes to the testing process, I took the test 2 times, as mentioned. I took it 1 time at UAH, and I took it another time at Alabama A&M University. So when I talk about the UAH experience, of course, at UAH, they were similar, but they were the same. For example, at UAH, you come in at this, and this is, I'm going to start on what happened with both testing sites. So at both of them, you come in, you got to sign your paperwork in order to take the test, as far as what they want you to do, as far as signing off on the test, signing off on the agreement. So of course you sign your paperwork. Secondly, you go in, you have to put your stuff in a locker, and then you go in a room and it's quiet. You have to take your hats off. Only thing you walk in with is your clothes. Nothing in your pockets at all. You walk in, you take your test. That process right there, I would rather do it at Alabama A&M. And the reason why when it comes to all of that, of course, they have a better setup as far as the rooms. The rooms in there, you go in one room to take your test. That's basically the room that you think you're finna take your test in, but actually there's another room next to it. They have these sort of pod shaped, I don't know what they're called, but they're kind of like pods. It's one big infrastructure, and then there's a separate room for each one that's closed in by a glass door, and they have walls in between separating them, and they're soundproof, so you can't really hear what's going on the outside or in another pod. So I really like that. That was one thing that I did like. When it comes to UAH, they were also good, but at the same time, like I say, it is more simple. You just go in a room. Everybody there, they also did their job too really good. It's just, only difference is Alabama A&M was more unique with it. Hey, Alabama State, we got to get one of them, Yeah, go on it, Yeah. So it was more unique as far as the process with the testing, and I liked it. It was very peaceful. I felt very at peace with it, and if I go back again, that's what I'll go get my test. We're gonna go over one of the effective ways to study. A few of them. So the number one way for me was the Get Ahead, Get Certified guide by Daryl Gibson. You can find this on Amazon, around $30 $100 for the copy like this, brand new. I think they have different prices for the Kindle, digital copies, and things of that nature. Two other ways were Professor Messer's study guide playlist. His study guide playlist and his study group playlist, they go hand in hand. For example, the study guide playlist, CompTIA Security Plus study guide playlist, it goes hand in hand with this book right here. So the book takes you into a deeper meaning of everything, and the study guide playlist, for example, it kind of gives you a brief definition, kind of reels you back in, because when you go deep in like that, you can get lost and you can end up not understanding what's going on. And the study group, it kind of tests your knowledge as far as it goes with the questions, where you are with questions, give you some type of performance-based questions. And also there are other YouTubers who do performance-based questions. I do recommend that you kind of study more on performance-based questions. Two other resources are the CompTIA Security Plus app. A lot of people don't know about that. I found that out through another YouTuber. I just happened to stumble upon her page while I was like Googling what the certificate looked like, and it took me to her page as far as when it goes to advice on the exam. Exam Compass was also another resource that I used. I kind of strayed away from like the app and Exam Compass because even though they're practice tests, they practice tests they don't really correlate like you think into the test. And that's really going to lead me into my next part of this section. So we're going to get into the final part, and this is where I give you all the best advice. So now we get into the final part of the video, which is basically what other YouTubers are not telling y'all, basically. So we're going to talk about what they're not telling y'all, and that is how the questions are being asked on the test. Like, everyone is giving the same cliche advice. Everyone is saying, well, you need to do this and that, or you need to do this and that. They're not telling you what all to look for on the test. So for example, with the practice test and the regular test, the questions are kind of completely different. Yes, they're centered around the same material, but they're different. For example, on the practice test is more, let's say, topic-based. The practice tests are more topic-based, and the exam is more concept-based. So what do I mean by that? I'll give you an example. Let's say, for example, we take the term tokenization. Everyone knows what that means at the end of the day. Something that's close to that is data masking. So on a practice exam, we would have questions about tokenization, and in the answer choices, tokenization would be an answer. But it's more like the question will have the definition of tokenization in it in the practice test. On the exam, it's completely different. The exam is nothing like that. So for the exam, you will have the concept of tokenization. So that means you have to really know how tokenization works in many different ways. So you'll have the concept of tokenization, and then also along with having the concept, you will have a concept answer in there. Tokenization is nowhere near it. Data masking is nowhere near it. You have to know how they want you to answer the question. You have to know how tokenization works in many different ways. You just basically have to know the concept of it. So many other YouTubers that are telling y'all that their experience, they're not telling you all what to look out for. And another thing is, when it comes to giving advice on the test, I've seen many YouTubers basically talk about how, they lack of talking about performance-based questions. Some people say they're hard, some people say they're not. And at the end of the day, everyone has their opinion, but they can't say that they're easy to get right and this and that, because how do you all know that you're getting them right? Because it doesn't tell you, the test doesn't tell you which questions you got right in particular, but they do tell you which sections you need to study for again when you get them wrong, when you get your results back. But only advice I can give is know how to configure a firewall. That's one thing. Know how to configure a firewall. Know how to configure routers and servers. Know how to connect them. Let me see if I can think of another know the different type of injection attacks. Know the different type of injection attacks, because when you get a certain performance-based question asking like with a bunch of scripts and everything, you're kind of looking like, okay, you'll look for certain ones for SQL injection. You know it's not that, or it might be a logic on. You just got to know about the vulnerabilities, the injections. Actually know what they look like. Don't just know the definition and the concept, but actually know what they look like also. So that's another thing that people aren't telling you. I think some people, and I don't necessarily blame them, some people just forget what they were asked on the test after they take the test. Because once you pass that test, you got that feeling of you just got a big sigh of relief. Me, I'm not a jumping around and ooh type guy. That's not me. Well, it kind of is in certain events, but stuff like that, when I accomplish stuff like that, it's like, all right, it's like a dominant school scoring a touchdown. Basically, you just get the ball back to the ref and go back to the sideline. Cool. So, I took a big sigh of relief, and I just, smiled, and I walked out, got my paper, and I was happy. When it comes to the exam, really, you just have to stay focused and just pay attention. Remain calm. At the end of the day, remember that you studied this, do process of elimination. Don't go in there in your testing mode. Go in there in your calm mindset as if you had when you were studying. A way that I really remain calm and throughout the test is, well, the first time I took the test, I was kind of caught off guard because the way the questions were asked, they were kind of asked in a way to where I was just like, man, this got to be a foreign language. I've never seen this stuff before. So it kind of screwed me up a little bit. But, I mean, I got it. I kind of worked it out. I got it. And I was just, for a minute, the first time, I was just like, okay, well, I'm just going to go ahead and go through with the test, and it is what it is. But I thought, like, well, no, just keep trying. Because you would never know. Maybe you're on pace to score 800, but, you kind of just overthinking it. And that's when I made that 730, and I knew, yeah, I can pass this test. Because if I made a 730 on a question that I just never seen before, I'm like, what's going on? I know I can come back and study the sections that they told me to study and then pass them, of course. So when I took the test, I mean, like I say, the second time, I was more, okay, I know what they expect. One thing I will tell you that people aren't telling you, they say that everyone get different tests, but they're not telling you that you're going to get the same test 2 times in a row. So if you fail the test one time, you will get the same test again the second time. That's what I will tell you all. So really, to wrap this up, to summarize this whole portion of it, know the concepts, know what your attacks look like, know how to configure firewalls and routers, know the concepts of them. Number 4, know the concepts, and don't get wrapped up in taking practice tests, because practice tests, that's for the hit that you're grasping, that you're understanding what's going on. That's basically what it is, that you're getting the understanding of what's going on, but that's not the actual test. Please remember, that's not the actual test. Other than that, once you know the concepts, performance-based wise, your firewalls, your attacks, and once you basically just, know how to answer the question no matter how it's asked, concept-wise, you'll pass the test easily. You'll know what's going on, and nothing can just catch you off guard. One last piece of advice, and I'm going to end this video. I would tell you, like I was told, stay disciplined. Take your time on the test. That doesn't mean go slow on the test. Go at a steady pace. But if you finish your test, go back and retake it all over again until the clock hits 0. By retake it, I mean review all the way from question 1 to the end. Review it. If you don't know it initially the first time you go through, flag it. Once you flag it, when you do your review, go to the question that you flagged. Once you go to the question that you flagged, then after that, go ahead and review 1 through whatever. 86, 90, 76, 70, doesn't matter. Review them all. Take your time until the clock hits 0, because one question could be the difference between you scoring a 745 and a 750. That's literally it. So definitely make sure you all take your time on test, stay disciplined, study, And trust me, it is passable. Trust me, it's very passable. And man, you got it. Just you got to come in with a boss mentality, like you got it. So good luck to you all. Hope you all pass. I'm glad I passed, and I'm on moving on to the next thing. And appreciate it. Make sure y'all subscribe, like my videos, and like I say, we in here. Yeah.